Welcome students to your English class. Today we shall be taking up another poetry from your textbook of class 10, that is First Flight, and the name of the poetry is How to Tell Wild Animals. Remember students, this poetry is there on page number 43 and 44 of your textbook. Now remember students one thing, this poetry is being written by Carolyn, who is a prolific American writer, most commonly known as for writing children's storybooks and also for writing humorous pieces. Why am I telling so? Well, the thing is very simple. It will give you an idea as to what kind of a writing you can expect from this lady. Now the basic idea or the central idea of this poem is regarding identifying animals using various dangerous methods. How? Let's start then. This poetry is divided into 6 stanzas where our poet is telling us harsh measures to implement in order to identify wild animals. And it begins like this. In the very first stanza, it's being written as, if ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast. Now remember students, tawny means golden brown. If he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. Now it seems to be a very dangerous way to identify an Asian lion, don't you think? Where she simply states that in case you ever go to the east. Now remember, for Americans or people living in that part of the world, for them Asia is the eastern side. So that's why when she says to jungles in the east, she's talking about the Asian forests. And if there should you advance, it simply means, and that in case you go there and you encounter a large and golden brown beast advance towards you and it's moving towards you, and in case if he roars at you, and in case you are so very scared of him, when he roars at you when you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. So somewhere or the other she's saying that the simple way to identify an Asian lion is to listen to its roar when you are already dying. Let's move on to the next one. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you. Now remember, understand one thing students, noble actually refers to someone who is very polite, very proper. With black stripes on a yellow ground. Black stripes on a yellow ground. I think that's a pretty much good hint of which animal she's talking about. Just notice it if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Now she simply states, and after some time when you are roaming around the forest, if you actually get a very noble, a very royal kind of wild beast, whose physical description is described as with black stripes on a yellow ground, so on a black, on a yellow hide or on a yellow skin, if you get to have an animal or meet an animal which is having black stripes over it, just notice if he eats you, because the moment he does so, it's very easy to understand that you have finally met the Bengal tiger. Yes, the Royal Bengal tiger. If strolling forth means forward. If strolling forth, a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered. Now hide means skin. Spots is peppered means whose skin is covered with small black spots. As soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. And in case you actually are saved from either of the 2 deaths, being meted out by the lion as well as the tiger, and if while moving forward you meet a beast whose description as it has been given, whose whole skin is covered with black spots, as soon as it actually leaps on you, you will know it's a leopard. And there is no use to roar with pain when he has actually leapt on you, because it won't create much of a difference. He will keep on leaping over you. If when you are walking round your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it's a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more careless. Now before we actually move on, I think all of you would have heard of this termed as a beer hug. Yes, the very same friendly beer hug we give our friends when we meet them after the long time, which I'm sure you'll do so as well when you join back school. So, but what is the poet describing here? The poet is saying, and in case if you're walking round your yard, that is the outer area near your house, you meet a creature who hugs you very, very hard. Now see, there's a bit of an irony here. Usually, when we talk about this term, beer hug, it actually means a friendly hug to another person who's a friend of yours. But in case a real bear hugs you very, very hard, it actually kills you. Yes. Be sure it's a bear. So when it had hugged you very hard and you feel like the life from your body is actually leaving, then you can easily identify that it's a bear. And in case you have any doubts in identifying this creature, don't worry. I guess he'll just give you one more caress. Now understand that caress actually means a slight touch. Do you really think that the bear will give you a slight touch? No, it will hug you tight again. So here she has used some beautifully enacted, beautifully used literary devices. But we wouldn't study that right now. Let's move on to the second last stanza. Though, to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might not pass. Now understand these lines. What is she saying? She's saying that when it comes to distinguishing beasts of prey, distinguishing means identifying or actually differentiating between the different beasts who actually hunt. A novice might not plus. Someone who's not habitual of identifying this creature may get confused. And then she says that the crocodile you always may tell from the hyenas. And how is she doing? She is telling us, giving us hints in order for us to not remain a novice anymore, to actually be able to identify these creatures in case we actually encounter them. And by that she says that the crocodile you may thus tell from the hyenas. You can easily identify or distinguish, differentiate between a crocodile and a hyena. Why? Hyenas come with merry smiles. Why? Because hyena's cry is actually being compared to that of a human laughter. Yes, hyena is a very lecherous creature, and it is being said that in case a hyena is calling out nearby, you wouldn't be able to identify why, because it sounds as if a human being is laughing. So that is why she is saying hyenas come with merry smiles. So here again, smiles has been used in a different manner. It is explaining a different meaning. Merry smiles in a cunning way. But if they weep, they are crocodiles. Yes. Again, a common notion. Crocodile tears, which are known to be fake. We also call some people shedding crocodile tears when they are actually trying to be something or when they are trying to lie. Do you understand the point? We have discussed three common factors till now. First is the bear hug, which is usually being known as a friendly hug. Whether in reality, it means the bear hug is very, very dangerous for health. Then comes the hyena smile, the treacherous, cunning smile, which actually result in the other person's death. And the third one is the crocodile's tears. These are the phrases our poet had, the common phrases we use in our day-to-day life, which Carolyn has used. You would notice, children, that she has actually used these phrases in order to not only make you understand. Yes, it's a very humorous poem, but she has also used such kind of language so that it is easy for you to understand. Alright, now let's move on to the last stanza. The true chameleon is small. Now, chameleon. Yes, chameleon actually, in Hindi, chameleon is a type of a lizard which changes its exterior with the help of camouflage in order to save itself, save its own skin. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of a thing. He hasn't any ears at all, so it cannot hear you in case you try to walk along by its side. And not a single wing. It does not have an ear, it does not have a single wing through which it can actually move. If there is nothing on the tree, this is the chameleon you see. Why is she saying so? She says that because a chameleon has a tendency of camouflaging along with the environment, or shall I say with the habitat where it is living. So in case you feel as if there is nothing on the tree, we have to be very, very careful, because that is a chameleon. That means we are not able to identify it very easily, because it has actually hidden itself very, very smartly with the surroundings. So this was the basic description, or shall I say a paraphrase-wise explanation of this poem, students. In the next video related to this chapter, we would go delve deeper into it, talking about the various grammatical usages, the various figures of speeches we have taken up, as well as what are the hidden, or shall I say the rhetorical sense, what are the rhetorical meanings Caroline Wells uses in order to make it much more understandable to us. Hope it was a good educational video for you all. We'll catch up later. Thank you so much.